We are holding. We're holding here in the Gemara in Mesechta Megillah Daf Chavtes on Aleph 29a. Today's topics are going to be specifically about going through a shul, using a shul as a shortcut to get from point A to point B. And the other topic we're going to learn about is about cemeteries, respect for a cemetery, a Jewish cemetery. It's a place where neshama is, unlike out there in the world, a temporary society where they use the cemetery as a place to walk their dogs, or to take a walk, or to go for a stroll. A cemetery is a holy place, and we're going to learn about that as well over here. And so says the Gemara, we're holding in...
I use the cemetery locally to teach my son Shalom driving. I figured it was the safest place to take him.
Well, people are dying to get in there, right? I think it's from Mendy and the Golem. Well, yeah, I'm talking about a non-Jewish cemetery, right? They don't have the neshamas, it's different than the Jewish cemetery. Tanya Darash Bar Kapara. The last thing we learned about was how all the shuls in Eretz Yisrael and throughout the world, throughout all the ages, are going to rejoin these shuls in Eretz Yisrael. We're holding the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th wide line in the middle of the line. Darash Bar Kapara. My Dichsiv. Lama Teratztun Harim Gavinunim. If you have an articles 29/8. There's a pasuk we're saying Tehillim, Kapitel Samaches, and we say, why mountains have you danced? Harim Gavinunim, you majestic mountains. The word Gavinunim has the word Gvina, right? Cheese, which is dairy. It's one of the Har Sinai is called Har Gavinunim, the majestic mountain, but it also means the mountain of cheese, which is one of the reasons given for eating dairy on Shavuos. So why majestic mountains have you danced? It says, this entire chapter of Tehillim, chapter 68, is about Mount Torah, the giving of the Torah, and why Hashem chose Har Sinai, Mount Sinai, to be the place where the Torah is given. Yatzasa Baskal ve'amra lahem. A heavenly voice came out, told the other mountains, and you take the words Tiratzdun, Taf Reish Sadik, Daled Vav Nun, and divides it into two, and explains it as follows. Tirtzu Din. Why do you want to make a judgment? Why do you want to argue with Har Sinai, make a case against them? So in this Kapitel of Tehillim, all the mountains wanted the Torah to be given on them, and instead it was given to Har Sinai. And they were arguing with Hashem, why is the Torah not being given on me? The Torah should be given, Torah should not be given on Har Sinai, Torah should rather be given on me. Fulchem bali mumim atem etzel Sinai. And Hashem told them, in comparison to Har Sinai, all of you, all the other mountains, are not important. 29a3. All the other mountains are considered to be blemished in comparison to Har Sinai. Because as we learned in Mesechta Shabbos, I think it says, all the other mountains said, I'm the greatest mountain, I'm the prettiest mountain, Torah should be given on me. And Har Sinai, which was a very low mountain, says, I'm nothing special about me. I'm in the desert. I'm not beautiful. I'm not tall. Torah can't be given on me. And Hashem chose Har Sinai because of its bashfulness and its humbleness. So Hashem told the other mountains, in comparison to Har Sinai, all of you are considered to be blemished. It's a little bit different than Elazar bar Kapar, which was right before. Previously. The previous paragraph, the Gemara said that when the Torah was being given, the two mountains, Har Tavar and Har Carmel, really wanted the Torah to be given on them. And since it couldn't be given on them, they ran to listen, to be present when the Torah was given. And in that merit, Hashem moved them to Eretz Yisrael after. Now, there are Mefarshim which say that it doesn't mean the actual mountain came, it just means that the ear of the mountain, the space of the mountain came. It says, for example, Yaakov Avinu says while he was sleeping and had a dream, Hashem folded Eretz Yisrael and put it under his head. So how's that possible? Where did all the people in Eretz Yisrael go at that point?
Sounds like what space time.
Well, everything is possible. So he says it means just the area of Eretz Yisrael, the holiness of Eretz Yisrael. But previously, it says that because they were humble, Har Tavar and Har Carmel, that's why they went to Eretz Yisrael. They wanted to be there by the giving of Har Sinai. We learned from there that one should rather go to a shul to learn as opposed to learning at home. Here, Bar Kapara is saying the exact opposite, saying the reason why Har Sinai was chosen was because all the other mountains were haughty, were arrogant. They demanded the Torah should be given on them. Amar Rav Ashi says, Rav Ashi, Shma Mina, from here we see, Hai Man di Yahir Bal Mumhu. Somebody who is arrogant, is haughty, is considered to be a Bal Mum, a blemish. So just like the mountains, because they were haughty, they were blemished, so too, a person must always be humble. In another blot, in Daf Lamed Aleph, we're going to dwell on this theme a lot more about the idea of being humble. And wherever you see the greatness of Hashem, there you also see the humility of Hashem. What is the first, what is the first line? Right? Stands for Abag Yetatz. Okay. Abag Yetatz. Now, if you add that up together, you come up to the word Oilas Tamid, Oilas, a carbon which goes up. The first, these, the Anam B'chayach has 6 lines of Anam B'chayach and the Baruch Shem, where they correspond to the 6 midos. Chesed, Gvur, Tiferes, kindness. So Abag Yetatz, the first one is Chesed. Chesed is Abag, which is a gematria of Oilas, going upwards. When a person does Chesed, does kindness to others, through this, that's how they Oilas, they go up, they become great. When one does kindness for somebody else, they're putting their own needs aside in order to help somebody else. When one does not do kindness for others, wants everything for themselves, they put themselves up, so then Hashem says, I'll put them down. But if someone puts themselves down, Hashem says, I will lift you up. So Har Sinai is the lowest of all the mountains. It was humble, and that's the way to acquire the Torah. I had the idea of Chesed, and this is why specifically he was Oilas Tamid. He was raised up in order to the Torah should be given on it.
It's interesting. Should the Chumash actually see Har Sinai referred to as the holy mountain before even the Torah was given? There must have been something special about it.
Har Elikim.
Yeah, but there must have been something special about it even before the Torah was given.
Correct. It does say in Rashi it was called on the name of the future. Now let's and so Hashem said the Ben Yada, which is Ben Ishchai, he writes, if you look at the last letters of Har Sinai, are
Nun and a Yud, right?
Nun and a Yud, correct. Har Sinai. Now the word Sinai, Samach Yud, Nun Yud, the letter behind them, right? Yud and Nun is mem and tes, the letter before them. And samach yud, the letter before them is tes and nun. Tes nun, mem tes. Tan means a body. So you have tav l'meis of tandu, better to live with two people. Tan is a body. Mem tes is tumutena, mut, which is humble. So the back of Har Sinai always held itself to be a very humble. And if somebody wants to receive the Torah like Har Sinai, they also have to hold themselves to be very humble. When I was in the yeshiva in Toronto, we had there was a big, near Toronto was a shlachtos. There was a place where they would shecht a lot of kosher meat and chickens. So there was a son of one of the shachtim. He was in the yeshiva, and he used to travel into shecht. So one time he came to yeshiva. He brought with him a chicken with 3 legs.
Oh.
He brought a live chicken with 3 legs into the yeshiva. He said it's the first time he's shechting in many, many years. First time he's seen it, a chicken with 3 legs. And there's a certain halacha about it. It says if a chicken with 3 legs is considered to be chaser. If it's too much, it's missing. So it's considered as if it has 1 leg. If a chicken with 4 legs is considered as if it has no legs. And it will make it a terefa.
So that is if it has 3 legs, it's straight for 2?
I'm not sure about that. I don't know that halacha. I don't think so. But it says the first time he's seen ever a chicken with 3 legs. It says, Kol hayeser kinoko. If you have too much, it's like you're missing. And this is idea, Maral says that whoever has yahir, whoever is arrogant, balmum, they're a blemish. Blemish is that they're missing something. They're missing an arm, they're missing a hand. That's a mum.
And he actually showed you over there.
Yeah, live chicken with 3 feet.
Oh, wow.
Right. So this is the Maral says that since someone has something extra, it's about mum, they're actually missing something. Right, next part about can you use a shul as a shortcut? Now, there is discussion if this extends to the courtyard of the shul. Seemingly, the courtyards of shuls are not really an issue, not really a problem to use them as a shortcut. But we'll see, but if you're learning from the Beis HaMikdash, you weren't even allowed to use the Hatzvi-Bais, entire Temple Mount, as a shortcut. So over here, we're going to see about using a shul as a shortcut. Says the Gemara, you cannot use a shul as a shortcut to go from place to place. My kapandria, what is a shortcut? Amar Rava says, kapandria kishma. Kapandria is what the name implies. What does the name mean? My kishma. Commande Amar admakefna adari eyol baha. While I go around the rows of houses, instead of going around, let me take a shortcut and go right through. So the word kapandria takes it takes 2 words and combines them together and makes it shorter. Adari and adamakifna. Adamakifna is I'll go around. Adari means I will go in, I will enter. So instead of going around, I will enter over here, and therefore I'll make my way shorter. So that is prohibited.
Rabbi, is there something wrong? The English is not corresponding to what you're saying.
Let's see that. So the Hebrew is, I was looking at the screen, does not correspond. I refund. Let me see. And now is it better?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for pointing it out.
I see actually what it does actually the number
Adamakifna adari. So you take these 2 words together, kuf pei nun from the first word, dalad resh shud from the second word,
exactly,
and it makes the word kapandria.
Exactly. What you end up doing is you end up also possibly be a part of Angel 2, I think, because another.
Ayol is just translating the word dari. Dari means.
But that's except for the very end. Actually, what you're doing is you're only using actually the consonants, getting rid of the vowels,
Mhm.
and then having actually the yud aleph afterwards.
Correct. Amar Rabbi Bo says Rabbi Abahu Mayashvil Meikara Mutter. If there was a public path initially to pass through that area before the shul was built, and the shul was built in that area, it is permitted to continue using it as a shortcut because you can't take away a public road due to a shul being built. You can't take away the right of access for everyone. Amr of Nachman Bar Yitzchak says from Nachman Bar Yitzchak, Hanichnas amanas shlelasas kapandria. If somebody went into a shul not intending to make it a shortcut, for example, I went to shul in the morning in order to daven, and now for me to continue to walking to work, it's quicker to walk out the other entrance of the shul. Mutter lasas kapandria. So in that case, you are allowed to use it as a shortcut because that's not what you had in mind to do. And there's no shame or no embarrassment to a shul by doing this.
What if it becomes like a schedule, like, that's a short, so you go the next day, you do the same thing, so.
Yeah, so that is fine. We're going to see very shortly, but in the Beis HaMikdash, that's the way it worked was that you were supposed to walk out from a different entrance you walked in from. That's fine, as long as you're not going in to use it as a shortcut. Yeah. We'll get to the halacha l'maisa shortly. Amar Rabbi Chelbai, Amar Rav Huna says Rabbi Chelbai in the name of Rabbi Huna, Hanichnas lebeis hakneses lispalel. One who entered a shul in order to daven is allowed to exit from the other side, even if it's short. You don't have to go back specifically the long way out. Shenemar, as it states, this is in the Beis HaMikdash, and Yecheskel Hanavi is giving a prophecy what the third Beis HaMikdash will look like. And it says that when the people will come to Hashem on the holidays, one who enters from the northern gate should exit from the southern gate. One who entered from the southern gate should enter from one who entered from one gate should enter from the other gate. Two Beis HaMikdash diagrams here. Here's just a general drawing of the Beis HaMikdash. Hatzvi-Bais. This is specifically the Hatzvi-Bais, but here you see on the screen here's a Beis HaMikdash. So many people coming in from different gates onto the Temple Mount. So it's a mitzvah when you walk in, you walk to the right, right? Hence the big arch, right, called Robinson's Arch, right, where the big entrance to the Beis HaMikdash is on the right side. It's a mitzvah to enter from the right and to go around the Beis HaMikdash and to exit from the left. To be as long as possible in the Azara. You're saying, I don't want to exit Hashem's house. I want to be here as long as I could.
That's similar when you get caught in the Torah, you should go around the longer way.
Yeah, exactly. Right? When you get an Aliyah, you always go to the right and you always go around the longer way. Just like the Mizbeach. They always went to the right. Even if they had to do something on the left side, they walked the long way. But what happens if where you want to leave, it's closer to the left side? You don't have to go back all the way around just in order to not use it as a shortcut. And so, just like in the Beis HaMikdash, they entered from one side and entered from one gate, exited from a different gate. So similarly, in a shul, if somebody went into the shul in order to daven, so then it's fine for them to exit from a different side, even if it will save them time. Right? So you go to, let's say, I don't know, let's say Rabbi Alpen's shul, and then there's a back entrance. I don't know if they probably don't use it because of, I don't know, hazard or something. But there's a back entrance that goes straight onto, it could save you a minute walk, right? Instead of walking out from the parking lot, you can walk straight out towards Shady or Beechwood, right? It will save you. You're allowed to do that.
Yeah.
Why? Because you went there to daven. But if you're in the building and you say, okay, I want a shortcut and I want to leave through the shul to save myself a minute of walking, that you're not allowed to do. The Pri Megadim writes, if it's for a mitzvah, you're allowed to use a shul as a shortcut. which Mishnah Berurah, he explains that it means not if you're on the way to a mitzvah, but if you're doing a mitzvah in the shul, you could use it as a shortcut. If somebody walking to a shul and sat down and said a pasuk, not when you're walking, but when you sat down and said a pasuk in the shul, so then there's no prohibition of using the shul as a shortcut. So you can make the calculation. It's worth it for you to walk into the shul in order to save yourself a minute, but you're going to sit down for a minute and say a pasuk. The courtyard of a shul does not have the sanctity of a shul, that you are allowed to walk through a hallway of a shul, only specifically the shul itself. Back then, many shuls were technically outdoors. And the shul included the courtyard. And many times the overflow crowd would be in the courtyard. So that specific type of shul is when he's speaking about a shvil harabim, a pathway of the public. But if you spend a little bit of time in the shul, even if you don't say a pasuk, just sitting down, or if you say a pasuk in the shul while you're sitting, it's enough time. That's enough, and you're allowed to use the shul as a throughway to go somewhere. The main point is not that the main point is to show how you're respecting the shul. You love it. You're not using it as as just your backyard. All right, next, we're going to learn about a cemetery now. If you had a shul that was in ruins and it started growing grass in the area of the shul, you should not uproot the grass because people should feel anguished and want to go repair the shul. They should fix the shul. And so if the shul is all fixed up and nice on the outside, no one's going to pay attention to it. If you see the grass growing wild, it'll bring it to people's attention, and they're going to want to go fix it. Says the Gemara, the Tanya, we have learned previously that one is allowed to uproot, cut the grass from a shul that's overgrown. If a shul which is in ruins, which is abandoned, you're allowed to cut the grass and leave it there where it is. But you cannot cut it and use it, for example, to feed it to your animals who eat grass. That you cannot do. So seemingly, you are allowed to cut it, and you have to leave it in the spot. You can't throw it out because people should see that the shul is overgrown. There's no one taking care of the shul, and if you leave all the grass piled up in its spot, people will also notice the shul as well. But this brisa says that you are allowed to cut down grass in an old ruined shul and leave it in a spot. So how come our Mishnah says that you cannot cut grass at all? It says the Gemara, let's just reinterpret our Mishnah. That our Mishnah actually is this means that if you're not allowed to cut the grass to feed it to your animals, but the Mishnah would allow you to cut the grass. It shouldn't be wild. You have to leave all the grass that you cut. You have to leave it over there. Says the Gemara, Tana Rabbanan, Beis HaKvaros ein noigin behen halas rosh. You are not allowed to act frivolous in a shul, in a cemetery. You cannot act in a type of way, a party type of way, in a very lightheaded type of way. For example, you shouldn't eat or drink in a cemetery. You shouldn't have a business meeting. You shouldn't make your calculations in the cemetery. You cannot bring your animals to graze over there. I was in the cemetery in Sfas where the Arizal is, and if you walk around in the middle of the night, there's cows walking around over there from some local, local farms. 29A3, correct. Second paragraph, second column. So you cannot act frivolous, you cannot act lightheaded, frivolous. So you can't bring your animals to graze over there. That means it would also include you shouldn't take your dog for a walk in a cemetery. Is very common today. And you cannot make a aqueduct of water to go through a cemetery. Talking about a Jewish cemetery. And you cannot cut the grass in the shul, in the cemetery, to use it to feed your animals. And if you did cut the grass, it should be burned in the spot where it is, out of respect for the dead. The Gemara wants to clarify, what does it mean, respect for the dead, to burn the grass where you cut it? So the Gemara says, ahaya, what exactly is the honor for the dead? If you say the very last statement, that you burn the grass in the place where you cut it, because it is honor for the dead. My covered mesemika. What type of honor is it for the dead if you burn the grass in its place? What respect is there? If the Bryce is said to respect the dead, you have to burn it publicly. I can understand that there's some respect for them. But it seems it has to be cut down and burned on the spot. So people should not think that you're feeding the grass to your animals, but how are you respecting the dead? So Gemara says, Allah Reisha. Rather, the beginning of this brisa, which says that you you cannot eat or drink, and you cannot bring your animals into a cemetery. That is respect for the dead. That you respect the area, you respect the fact that they passed away. Over here is all the people who are in the form of Hashem. A person, a human being, is in the form of Hashem, so you cannot act frivolous. And over here, it's now that their bodies are decomposing, you have the neshamas over here. So yeah, so it's definitely the idea of kavod, of respect. Sam Sofer writes that there's actually a prohibition to have any type of benefit from any grass or anything growing in a cemetery, and he calls it a prohibition, a lav d'oraisa, not just an idea of respect, but he says a grave is asr ba'ana. You're not allowed to have any benefit from a grave. So any tree or anything, you're not allowed to have any benefit from anything growing in a cemetery. So if, let's say, there's a fruit tree in a cemetery that was growing there, you're not allowed to eat any of the fruits. Anything which is set aside for someone who died, for that person, you're not allowed to have any benefit for. Similar to, let's say, on Hanukkah, if you have oil that's left over from your Hanukkah candles, you're not allowed to have any benefit from it. A sukkah is different. Sukkah, after Sukkos, it doesn't have kedusha anymore in the object, because when it's made, it's not made only specifically for Sukkos, but a Hanukkah candle, the oil, is meant specifically for someone who passed away. Now, there are many people, you go to a cemetery, you get perpetual care, right? They grow gardens over there, they grow beautiful things over there. So all these things are permitted, but not anything edible, not anything that makes fruits, because the person no longer could do mitzvahs, or no longer can make fruits. And therefore, something which makes fruits is forbidden to have in a cemetery. Something grows by itself, you're allowed to cut it down. But a very interesting minhag, a very interesting custom comes out of this. And I'll show you a video of the Rebbe doing this. Let's bring this up. I hope it works on the screen, the big screen. This is a video of the Rebbe visiting the Ohel. What year is this? 1991, I think. This is, the Rebbe had a room in the Ohel, but now currently, I'm going to refresh the page to see if it works better. Before it worked just fine. Maybe it's Zoom. I don't know. Try this again. Well, when the Rebbe would visit the oil, and it's a custom of many people, that when you go to a cemetery, after you, on the way out, you bend down and you take grass from the ground,
Put it back.
and 3 times you throw it over your shoulder, and you say "V'yetzisu ke'ir me'ir ke'esav haaretz," and
What is it?
a verse
I do it,
from,
but I don't know the word.
it's in Tehillim chapter 72. V'yetzitzu me'ir ke'esav haaretz. They will they will rise up from the city like the grass of the ground.
What is it, 76?
72.
72,
Yeah.
somewhere in there?
Yeah, middle of the Kapitel Ayin Beis. That's Yishvat Tashin and Beis. It's similar to when you wanted to purify a tummy mace, someone who's dead, impure from being by a dead body, touching a dead body or being in contact with a dead person or going to a cemetery, to purify them to go to the Beis HaMikdash. I don't know, before or previously was working just fine. Don't know why it's making issues now. But the idea is that the Rebbe would also do it. So in order to purify someone from a tumas mess, impurity of a dead person, maybe it has something to do with Zoom. Or previously in this room was working just fine. The Rebbe would leave. It would be very late at night. You know, it's I'm not going to try anymore. It's fine.
Could you post a link?
Okay, I'll do that. This is about Shvat. Oh, there's 1 month about before the Rebbe was out. So when it came to purifying oneself, the Rebbe is visiting his wife's grave. The Rebbe is in Chaim Mushka. And then on the way out, he's on the way. It's okay. I left up the link over there. So just like when it came to purifying yourself from the impure, from a tumas mes, from the impurity coming from a dead person, you needed to be sprinkled with the waters from the para aduma, the ashes and water mixed with the ashes of the para aduma, a red heifer, which was mixed with azov, with grass. So the same thing, when you leave a cemetery, you wash your hands. That's purifying yourself with water. And the ashes is the earth, the dust, which is where you're uprooting the grass from. And the grass that you use for purifying the paraduma, for the purifying part of the red heifer, so that grass is what you throw it over your shoulder. So you have all 3 components which a person uses in order to purify themselves.
Sometimes you don't get the water till you get home.
Right, so correct.
So would you pick up the grass again at home?
No, you do it over there before. You usually do it right outside the cemetery. You usually do it. I don't think it has to be specifically outside the cemetery. People do it inside as well. I mean, there's many reasons given for this. It's the idea of regrowth, etc.
Does it say anything about putting rocks where the custom.
Where it comes from? We don't know. The source, I'm not sure the custom of putting a stone, that we understand. Putting a rock on top of many people do it. I don't know the minute. I don't know the source of the custom. I don't know the source. Many people happen to do it. But,
I'm sure that someone who's been there, but.
we're going to actually pause today, so even though it's at 11:50. Tomorrow, Mr. Shalom will continue with the Gemara and the Maimon will be at Daita Moskva. Okay, thank you. Thank you for joining. Hope everyone enjoyed.